You're listening to the Why Boarding School podcast, broadcasting around the world. Join us as we promote independent boarding schools throughout the United States and Canada with our invited guests. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jeffrey Quebec.
Welcome to the Why Boarding School podcast. I'm Jeff Quebec, and today I'm joined by the Director of Admissions at Salisbury School in Salisbury, Connecticut, Bill Warder. Welcome, Bill. It's great to have you here today.
Thanks, Jeff. It's awesome to be on the program and look forward to connecting with you today.
Great. So with quite a rich history dating back to 1901, including having been an all-boys school since its founding, Salisbury certainly seems to have remained true to its mission. And Bill, perhaps you can start off by giving our audience a brief overview of the number of students at Salisbury School, grades you offer, where the students come from, etc.
Awesome. And Jeff, you're right. Salisbury founded in 1901 as an all-boys boarding school. Our mission of the school is being experts in teaching boys, and we've stayed true to that mission for more than a century. This is an experience for boys from all over the world. We draw students from, currently 33 different U.S. states, 6 Canadian provinces, 25 countries, over 300 boys. And Salisbury is primarily a boarding environment. 95% of our boys live and learn on campus in a full 24-hour boarding experience. And we offer enrollment for grades 9, so a student just starting 9th grade, for us, what we call the third form, all the way up through postgraduates. And those students may enter at any point. The traditional entry point would be 9th grade, but we do have students who enter as 10th grade, as 11th grade, as 1-year 12th grade students, and certainly every year one of the options at Salisbury is to enter as a postgraduate, which I know is a new option for some families, but it is one that's been around for a long, long time.
And Bill, what's the academic curriculum like at Salisbury School?
So, Jeff, a great question. We, as a boys' school, we have the flexibility and I would say the structure and efficiency to build a curriculum that is ideal for boys in a living and learning environment where boys are relational learners. They are connected in the classroom. We have, yes, all the traditional AP offerings, high-level AP offerings, AP Physics C, AP Macroeconomics, AP BC Calculus, multivariable calculus, literature, all the AP Lit, AP Enviro, and so on. And we also have, we're fortunate that we have a number of electives unique to Salisbury, such as freshwater ecology, sustainability course. We have a really neat 2-year entrepreneurial studies certificate program, courses like energy systems engineering. We have a really cool design course called Coloring Our Past, which is a history elective taught at Salisbury, which is primarily a project-based learning course, which might be a new concept to some out there, but it is a project-based learning course. And interesting that instructor that teaches that course has been named the state of Connecticut History Teacher of the Year. Is a wonderful instructor. So it's the best of both worlds. It's that combination of small class size, teachers that know the student, know their strengths, will meet the boys where they are in a developed and known AP quantity curriculum, and also a creative project-based learning elective curriculum. So we have both and serve all types of learners in that capacity.
That's great. So Bill, to sort of piggyback in regards to meeting the boys where they're at, can you talk a little bit about the Learning Center and the academic support that Salisbury offers? I know that there's a rich tradition there dating back to the 1950s.
Great question. So, learning and support for boys, and specifically here, our Rudd Learning Center, we've had that since the early 50s. So yeah, quite a while. And it's a part of a school community where the boys, whether it's maybe it's organization, executive functioning, maybe it's a boy who has really high academic capacity and has a language-based learning difference. And so understanding the student more importantly, helping the student understand their specific learning style, how they learn best. All boys are different, and one boy may, be more visual. One may be more, of an auditory learner. So having the boys understand their learning style, their preferences, and then build strategies and prescriptive learning plans in place to help them maximize, who they are as a student, and to, really develop themselves as a lifelong learner, so that obviously one of the goals of a boarding school and a secondary school experience like Salisbury would be to prepare those boys to be very well prepared for their next step, which is university, college, and beyond.
That's great. Can you tell me a little bit about the visual and performing arts offerings at Salisbury School?
So, again, as part of a full, complete boarding experience, one of the benefits of living on a campus is you do have the time to participate in both the arts, athletics, your high-level AP curriculum. And so at Salisbury, we offer 17 different art electives. We have incredibly strong media arts, film studies, filmmaking, digital media, film production, podcasting, incredible podcasting station studios, boys that do woodworking. We have a unique to Salisbury boat building class where the boys build what are called skin-on frame canoes. It's a full year course. We've had courses historically in tiny house architecture to drawing, painting, sculpting, pottery, jazz ensemble, rock band, instrumental music. So it's important to if you're developing a whole learner, yes, the critical thinking, the quantitative analysis, the scientific inquiry, the creative thought aspect of it is another piece of that, to developing a global, lifelong learner. Learning by doing is maybe another aspect of our curriculum. So learning by doing could happen in the arts. It could happen in a math class. It could happen in a chem lab. But boys are active learners. They function in teams really well. They love to be in teams. They love to collaborate. And this is an environment that they're able to do that.
So certainly you mentioned a tremendous amount of signature programs that Salisbury offers. And I'm kind of curious, can you expand a little bit upon the Media Lab at Salisbury School?
Right. So we have, some time ago, we started to develop as the world advanced technologically, and also when technology became more readily available, and not only, most people experience, I think, taking film, everyone's a photographer, everyone's a videographer on their phone, but really teaching the boys the skills to develop documentaries, to develop marketing, media, promotion of, the way that you might promote a product or a subject in a podcast is totally different than what you might produce in a TikTok video for marketing purposes, or an Instagram post or a LinkedIn post. And so having the boys, it's really about media literacy as well. So having the boys understand media literacy, and that's interdisciplinary, whether it's a history project to an English paper to the film studies program. And we've had, students, we've had documentaries win accolades. We've had students who have won significant awards with national publications. Number one, the tech we have is advanced and nicer than what you're going to find at colleges. We've just, part of that is a resource opportunity as well, that yes, we're a boys' school. All of our resources are for boys. So the choices you might make to, hey, we're going to take these resources and put them towards, this outcome, you can just be more deliberate and specific about how you wanted to deliver that curriculum. Whereas in the absence of, girls, or, trying to develop two different types of learners, just our choices are much more intentional, and we listen to the students. And the tech industry is one that the boys, as well as entrepreneurial studies and that business space, the boys love, robotics and live stream and tech is, as it's not a mystery that is obviously an area that the boys are, very highly engaged in.
Especially too, when you can cross it into cross-disciplinary classes and, bring other classes into the media lab seems quite impressive and a great opportunity for the students there.
It's great. I think I'm always surprised with, and I shouldn't be anymore at the time I've been here, but it's you go into the media lab and you see, oh, what class is this? Or, oh, what are you working on? Like, oh, I'm working on a project in my English course or my history elective. And, one of the media instructors is helping them, create a documentary or video or whatever it may be in that kind of cross-disciplinary space. It's not just, oh, this is my art project and I'm doing this to fulfill a requirement. It is, really collaborative, and the energy is pretty special.
And so the boat building class you mentioned, is that an elective that's offered?
It is an elective. It's a tough class. It's not a homework class. It's not a class where you just get homework at night. So it's not that sort of, hey, I'm studying multivariable calculus. It's a discipline, project oriented, and something I think the boys visually see, that there's a process. It's about process, right? It's about following a process and the proof in a process that if we follow this process, we, stay disciplined, we're particular about it, we can, yes, create something pretty astonishing, that actually is functional, works, is beautiful, is a piece of art, but also, a skin on frame canoe is it's really neat. The boys take them home. They're sea worthy, lake worthy, river worthy, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, they float, and the boys are
actually work.
It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of hours, and from tying knots and building the frames to it's not as easy as it sounds, and it takes quite a while to do it. Some of the boys will build the canoes. We've experienced boys in the past. Some of our rowers have built crew shells, which is a little more complex, but doable as well.
Nice. So switching to athletics, is every student required to play a sport each season? And what are, yes or no, obviously, and what are some of the athletic offerings that Salisbury has?
We do ask the students to participate in a post-academic activity. So the majority of the boys will participate in a athletic fitness opportunity, strength, or it could be strength and conditioning. We do have a few options that are not directly athletic related. One would be robotics. One would be our live stream team as well. But both robotics and live stream have a time commitment as well. So once the school day ends, those boys are working on preparing for the varsity hockey game, filming the varsity hockey game on Wednesday, or robotics team is working on their project and maybe building out a robot. So simple answer, yes, every boy is required to participate in athletics space. And there's a wide range of offerings. It might be easier to say what we don't offer, but certainly all the traditional New England sports, from hockey, lacrosse, baseball, football, rowing team, squash team, alpine skiing, cross country, mountain biking, rock climbing. Boys do paddle tennis, golf. We have an amazing golf facility. Probably missing a few, but you get the idea. And then multiply that times a varsity team, a JV team, a third team, a rec level team, and kind of build that out over 300 plus students. There's a team for everyone is the point. So even if a boy, hey, I'm aspiring to be a varsity hockey player, great. That's a portion of boys. Or it's a boy who, a student who's never skated before, and great, participate in rec hockey. And that's an hour long every day, totally different commitment than varsity hockey, but still on the ice, and the boys love it the same.
So the film crew, they're doing live streaming of the athletic events, so that way others, family members and such, can watch the games live?
Oh, it's amazing. And so, some on the call might think, I we've all seen, I don't know, Live Barn or Hockey TV or some iteration of that, of a YouTube video on Huddle. Someone's filmed that with their iPhone or equivalent, and it's shaky and you can't read the jersey numbers. Our live stream is, professional video quality. The most amazing part is the boys, it is all student run and produced. The boys do the filming, they do the color commentary, they do the play-by-play, and they're incredible. I mean, the research they do, the knowledge of the sport. We do send boys to, there's boys that have interest in going to schools that are, colleges that are known for that. So check out our live stream. You will be amazed by the video quality. It's watchable, actually. It's one of those you can actually. So we get comments all the time from college coaches, either a text or a call, like, "Oh, that was amazing. Your color commentator was so great," or "Wow, your video feed is so awesome." And so when you start to see those video quality feeds are, have a huge impact on not only the viewers. So you could be a mom in Los Angeles watching your son play hockey, or you could be overseas watching a game, which is amazing. It's just like turning on TV. Or, even for the boys, it's when they're doing video editing and watching game film, or they're trying to produce highlight videos. It's super high def quality and usable footage that you can, actually see.
And I'm sure too, your alumni, as proud former Crimson Knights, enjoy getting to cheer their team on to victory.
Oh, they love it. It's the good of it is when there's a big win or overtime win. Your text or email inbox just erupts. And likewise, if occasionally you're on the wrong side of it, it's hey, what happened? Like he looks like you have a lot of injuries, but it's all, what it means is, obviously people are in tune, and it's an incredible service, and it's about engagement, and the engagement is incredible. So yeah, we have a really strong following on, the live stream and the school media, which is pretty incredible.
Awesome. So what we're going to do right now, Bill, is take a little quick break. Then we're going to come back and talk more about the Salisbury School.
Do you have any questions or guests that you'd like to see on an upcoming Why Boarding School podcast? You can contact us directly through our website at whyboardingschool.com. Now, back to our show.
So welcome back. I'm Jeff Quebec, and I'm joined by Bill Warder. Bill is the Director of Admissions at the Salisbury School in Salisbury, Connecticut. And I guess, Bill, I'd start off the second half, ask you, what's a typical school day like on the hilltop at Salisbury School?
Great. I think, part of the boarding experience is, understanding the benefits of choosing to live in a environment where you're interconnected with your teachers, instructors, dorm parents, fellow students. And, time as a resource is, you're giving it back, actually. So you start to think about, the reasons for looking at boarding school and the benefits of a boarding school. One of those biggest elements, one of the biggest, reasons you might choose a boarding school is the structure of the day. And some of it is the way that schools are able to build a curriculum around a timetable that actually works for us in particular, boys, but for students in general. So, what does that mean? It means that instead of a day school or a public school where you're taking a lot of activities and you're smushing them into a very finite time, and it's just go, 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 and there's never a chance to catch your breath or reflect back, or just the rhythm is totally different. It's rushed. And, rushed learning is probably not the best learning. And so it's not the best learning. And so our students, we very intentionally structured an academic day that starts at 8:30 in the morning. And I know to some, boys that we talk to, like, oh, wow, like, I hop on the bus to go to school at 6:30, or my school starts at 7:30 in the morning, or so it may seem like a little bit of a later start for some, But, we feel that 8:30 start is, gives the boys an opportunity to, great, you want to go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, go get a workout in, get a shower, go get breakfast, get in academic dress. You can actually accomplish all that before 8:30 in the morning. You're well rested, well prepared, ready to start your day. And we're maximizing and utilizing every moment of the day for those boys. And building balance is really important. So 8:30 academic start. Basically, the boys would have 8:30 to, now to speak in general terms,
Sure.
Roughly 3:30 would be the general academic day. The boys take 5 core academic classes over, or 5 core academic classes is their base schedule. They would need to take those classes over a 6-day academic week. So we do have class on Saturday. So half day Wednesday, half day Saturday, 8:30 to 3:30 academic day, 3:30 to 5:30, and I'm using really round times here. 3:30 to 5:30, let's say that's athletic time designated. 5:30 to 7, the student would have time to go get dinner in any time portion in there. And then 7:30 to 9 o'clock, the entire school would be engaged in study hall, whether it's in the library, in the dorm. And then from 9 to 10:30, roughly, the boys have free time. They can continue to study, they can go to the gym, they can go get some food, they can get takeout pizza. Again, options. And then we have a bed check or a dorm check, 10:30, check in your room at 10:45. And so proper sleep, proper, I think the fitness, the hydration, the not rushing, giving the boys plenty of time to study. Over 6 days, like the rhythm, it gives them plenty of time to study, to balance their life, to, have fun, have conversations in the dorm, play athletics, take high-level courses, have the time. And this is where I think a place like Salisbury, with the structure of our day, where we separate ourselves out from other schools, is the space in between. Like, you can take calculus at most schools in the country, and you can search information, and it's probably free out there. But you cannot replicate the classroom experience, the day-to-day academic experience, the fact that you're in a living and learning environment with instructors who are experts in, in our case, teaching boys, coaches, experts in teaching boys as well, that are available at 7 a.m. in the morning, 10:15 at night for you. That does not happen at a boarding school or at a day school or a public school. It just can't happen. And something to think about. I was thinking about our conversation ahead of time. And I mean, in a lot of situations, even day schools or public schools, many times those teachers don't even live in district. They might have a commute as well. So like there's an opportunity lost on the teachers as well. So you think about the opportunity gained for not only the students, but also the teachers, that there's just so much more focus on the current environment, that it's like so much more growth happens, so much more coaching happens, mentoring happens, relationship building happens. And so I mentioned before, sure, you can search in, whether it's Google or search, or if TikTok's your media source, you can find anything for free. But you cannot replicate a classroom experience in a boarding school where you have a PhD from an Ivy school teaching a history course, who's also your rowing coach, who's also your dorm parent, who you also sit with in the dining hall, who the student might also have an interaction with their family, right? So just the relational aspect of a boarding school, and the intentional design of, to answer your original question, the intentional design of the day. Yes, this campus is open 24 hours a day. So it's one giant, park, right?
Sure.
Like educational park for boys that, hey, now it's time for sports. Now it's time for academics. Now it's time for dorm life. Hey, I'm going to catch dinner with my advisor. I'm going to see my, history teacher. oh, wow, I don't feel great about that quiz I had. I might connect with my chem instructor on my walk up from the athletic field. So that cannot be replicated anywhere in the world. There's nothing like it.
And certainly a tight-knit community like Salisbury, often those relationships can also occur among faculty and staff or coaches who aren't even your faculty, or your teachers or your coaches, right?
Yeah, that's the amazing
together.
part. The amazing part is the boys are seen. And we all live together. So, all the faculty and the benefit of, like, why do amazing faculty choose boarding schools? Because there's also the infrastructure of we're a really supportive community as well, that there's no better place if you're an incredible instructor and incredible coach, and this is an incredibly safe environment for not only our students but a family environment, and the instructors choose to model for those, for us in particular, modeling for boys. So if you're trying to teach honor and character and loyalty and time management and empathy and creativity, like, your instructor should model that as well. So it's a intentional design. I think, for example, today specifically for lunch, I was I came in the dining hall. I had a limited window of time to, just the nature of the day. I had a limited window of time to eat, probably 20 minutes or so. And I walked out and I kind of had the choice of, like, oh, great. Do I go sit with, a couple of faculty members, and a couple of the boys I coach saw me and they could kind of see me processing a little bit, and like, hey, coach, come sit with us. Like, yeah, of course. Right. Because, I travel quite a bit, and they were super interested. Like, hey, coach, tell us about your trip. Like, what's up? How was it?
Oh, that's great.
Like, oh, great. And, like, they deeply care as well. So it's that just doesn't happen, other places. And so I think those relationships, when did they matter? Listen, every single school, public day, boarding, they're all great. When it's 80 degrees and sunny, they're all great. But it's when you have an overtime loss. It's when you get a C+ on an assignment. It's when it's 30 degrees and snowing outside.
The dark winter nights.
It's like, that's when we're at our best. That's when students need you to be the best. And that's where boarding schools in general just outperform day schools and public options. And I mean, the reality is every student almost in the world has a free option, right? They probably have a really good free option of whether you live abroad or you live in the US, you have a public option. And so the value of the experience and the opportunity to go to a boarding school to, live, learn, connect, engage, just the growth you see. It is amazing to see the growth of student, that enters a boarding school in grade 9, and someone that enters a grade 9 at a public school. Not that there's not great outcomes in public schools. I certainly went to public school, and I now work at a boarding school. Not there's not great outcomes, but I think in today's age, in an area where there's so much expectations on, men and boys, there's no better place than, I think, an all boys school to develop that, competent global leader, right? And gentleman, and someone who has the skill set, both technical skill set and just people skill set to be an incredible human in today's world.
Yeah, very nice. Well said. So, Bill, you mentioned as far as on the weekends, half-day classes on Saturday. And what else takes place on the weekends? Are there trips on, off campus, activities on campus? What are some of the things that are going on?
Yeah, I think that's one of the benefits of, boarding school. And each boarding school is maybe going to be a little different on, by location, the kind of the politics of the location, I guess, of where they live. Where does the boarding school actually sit? We're in Northwest Connecticut, so not, we're 2 hours outside New York City, about 2.5 from Boston. We're in a pretty rural area. We're on a mountaintop, on a lake, which is amazing. Huge point of recruitment for our students, coming from, cities with around the world, right? That are, if you're trying to navigate New York City or, Shanghai, like those are totally different environments to navigate, where this is an environment where the boys have access to, I want to go mountain bike, I want to run, I want to go fish, I want to hike. But yeah, there's also, we as a school will program, hey, let's take them to a Broadway show, let's go to an NFL game, let's take them to restaurants, let's go do barbecue, let's take them to the grocery store so they can pick up some, Gatorades, or they grill out at the lake. So making sure that the boys are given every opportunity to, great, you want to have downtime? Awesome. But give them plenty of options as well, that if they want to get off campus, they're there. That is a huge benefit of boarding school, especially ours. I would say, we are, what I know out there, in my experience, I believe we're probably one of the top, if not the top, as far as residential programming. Now, again, we're an all boys school in a pretty rural area. We are very intentional about it and put a enormous amount of effort into it. And it pays off big time for the boys, that they love it. They love the weekends from yes, you can go study. Yes, you can go shoot hockey pucks or play wall ball or go to the gym, but you can also, go to a local restaurant and experience that with, there's nothing better than, I had I'm on a duty crew as well. So, one of my duty crews recently, I took the boys to this great, wood-fired pizza shop, and I had pizza and wings and ice cream and milkshakes, and like, you just don't have those relationships at a day school, that they see me outside my role and we're sharing pizza, and you get to know the boys at a really personal level. So when those relationships need to be leveraged from hey, I need you to push a little bit harder, or hey, there's a minute left in the game, we need to execute this. There's a trust factor, and trust is everything, especially in boys. And if the boys know that you care about them and you are invested in them, they will accomplish amazing things. And that's hard to do if you don't spend the face time, the time with them. So that's why we do it. The benefit of the boys, and it's a benefit for the faculty to live and learn from, oh my goodness, what I learned from the boys is amazing. What are they reading? What are they listening to? What's the new lingo? What's up and coming that I don't know about? And it's, hey, I'm visiting this city for admissions. Oh, Mr. Warder, go to this restaurant. It's just, it's a two-way exchange. And I think that's a cool part about, boarding school environment.
And that certainly goes back to all those formed relationships you spoke about earlier.
Relationships are everything. It's and I think the boys, I think boarding schools in general, men, women will learn to form really close, incredible relationships. They self-advocate, they cultivate confidence. They need to navigate a complex day as well. They have to balance a lot, right? There's not a family member, mom, dad, guardian, aunt, older brother holding their hand. Like, they have to navigate that. So it serves them, so well. Any boarding school is going to provide this, but, Salisbury, I asked the boys, the graduates or, our seniors, how well prepared were you for the next step? How well did Salisbury prepare you for that next step? And the answer is always like amazing. I was so well prepared. I knew how to self-advocate. I wasn't nervous about going to talk to, my, Econ 101 professor or the PhD at my Ivy League school. I wasn't nervous about going to talk about, a question I had, or raising my hand in a 500 person seminar at a, huge flagship Research One university. The boys are well prepared. Right?
They build up their confidence, right?
They build the confidence. And I think boarding schools in general certainly do that. Build confidence and build academic confidence in students. Certainly, I think a single gender school, if you were to talk to some of the all girls schools, obviously Salisbury all boys school, it's different, right? I mean, they're the benefits of an all boy and certainly the benefits of an all-girls school, my colleagues at those schools, I know how passionate they are about that experience for those women. And for the boys, it's incredibly beneficial for their confidence and in probably something you don't consider, that not that there's not distractions, but in an all-boys environment, yes, there's confidence, but they're also allowed to be vulnerable. And like when they're allowed to be vulnerable, they will open up, and they'll express themselves in a different way that is, wow, like I'm super stressed about the game, or I'm super stressed about my test. Instead of bottling up and just, I'm going to grind through this, I'm going to grit through this, which at times is super important. There's times you have to do that for sure. But it's more important to, like, there's tons of resources. There's people that can give you incredible advice of how to manage stress. And I'm stressed about the college process. I'm stressed about my role in the big game. I'm stressed about, talking to my parents about, my grade I got. It's like helping them understand it, talk through it is, really incredible.
Seems like it's a safe environment for them to express themselves and have those conversations.
I do feel it's safe. I think it's safe, academic safe space. I think I appreciate it as a coach as well, that, the student athletes will express in really healthy ways, hey coach, I don't think I played awesome. Like, what am I doing? Like, what can I do to improve this specific aspect of the game? Or, hey, how can I jump into the lineup? Or what do I need to do to earn a little more playing time? Or they're just grateful for what they have, right? So I think they're thankful, right? It's both of that, right? You see the gratefulness, thankfulness, and sincerity of, and also understanding of, like, I get it. Yeah. Coach, I totally get it. Like, I didn't play well. And my buddy next to me is out playing me, and like, good for him. I love him. Right. And I'm proud of him. Right. So like, they're more selfless. Right.
That's great. So Bill, tell me a little bit about the meals in the dining hall. Are they sit down? Are they served buffet? Are they required, not required?
Oh, great question. Food is everything.
Especially growing teenage boys.
Food is an incredible community builder, binder. At Salisbury, we have, incredible dining hall, incredible food. Optionality is, I think, key. We have one sit down meal a week. It's Thursday. It's called an advisory meal. We do have a few kind of special holiday meals throughout the year, but weekly it's one sit down meal on Thursdays. Other than that, the boys have the option to come to the dining hall and eat when they choose during their time block. So dinner or breakfast, say roughly 7-8:30, lunch 11 to 1, dinner 5 to 7. The boys can, hey, I want to come at 5 o'clock because it's build your own burrito day, and like I'm super jazzed up about that. I'm gonna be there at 4:45.
Yeah, maybe come back again too.
Hey, we were staying late to practice, and I want to get a workout in and shower and come at 6:45, and that's just the way that day's going. They have that option too, right? So I think food for boys especially, giving them the options of fresh proteins, fresh carbs, every option from rice to pasta to fruits, vegetables, fresh proteins, whether it's chicken, beef, pork, any type of seafood, vegetarian, tofu, whatever it may be, just giving them, or if they have food allergies, giving them total options of choice. And every boy's going to have options of, I think what's neat here is the boys get, I'd love to film a documentary on like the most creative chefs in the world I've seen are in our dining hall. Like what those boys can create on a panini press and a wok, or the toaster oven and a microwave. And like, it's super cool. Like they'll grab like 3 ingredients and like throw some cheese on it and some hot sauce and like, oh, like that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could make that. And but again, that's part of owning their experience, right? It's not just, hey, here's my plate of dinner and I'm going to eat it. Like they know what they want. They're developing good, healthy habits. they have those choices. Do some of the ninth graders, hey, put some more green on your plate? Of course, right? But it's it's giving the guys optionality of, you can have a very strict diet, and you might have, but you want one of the boys' favorite meals is no matter what, it's a go-to. When we have it, it's one of the favorite meals the guys have, and it's so simplistic. It's like a Chick-fil-A replica, and with all the toppings, and the boys can build their own kind of sandwiches. Chick-fil-A, or it's a chicken sandwich. It's not It's not too sophisticated, but it
tastes good, right?
They put a million toppings on it, and it's just the options, right? And whether you want to put it in a bun, you want to eat it on your own, you want to put it on pasta, you want to put in a panini wrap. The boys love that. It's all about the sauces. Yeah, so awesome. Sauces and dressings. So, nice. So our food is exceptional. Yeah. So it's
that's
matters.
Important.
But more importantly, it matters because if you were to walk in the dining hall and you walk in the dining hall and you see, the tables hold 6, 7, 8 chairs at the dining hall at a table. They're circular tables. Mm-hmm. And okay, great. You walk in there, no students are in there yet. It's all neat and orderly. And you walk in there mid-meal and you'll see 15 guys crammed around one table. It becomes a really social binding piece of the school. Now, we're a device-free school in many of those common spaces. So there's no cell phones, there's no tech in the dining hall, right? So there's no one looking at their phone. There's no one texting. There's no one, faculty included. Like, if I wanted to take a call in the dining hall, I need to leave. So what it creates in a device-free environment where there's food engaged, like the boys are talking, they're hanging out, they're forming relationships, they're chit-chatting, it's, laughing, it's amazing to see. Like, that's
sounds like just like the conversation you had today at lunch with the boys.
It was awesome. Yeah. It was energizing to me. It was good to be back but it's also, they were genuinely curious. Hey, tell us about, and it's good to reconnect with them because, I haven't seen them in a couple of weeks, and nice. It's good to just reconnect.
That's good. How about dorm life? What's dorm life like at Salisbury School?
Yeah, so we have a lot of options. So the ninth grade boys will live in one dorm together. We have a prefect system, so grade 10 through postgraduates kind of mix in a number of different rooms, residential halls, singles, doubles. We have a few triples, which are highly sought after because they're gigantic rooms and really nice. But yeah, you could have singles, doubles, a triple, multiple different building options. We do have a prefect system and a dorm parent system. So each dorm house will have 5 to 6 faculty assigned to that house as dorm parents. And then each floor is going to have what's called a prefect, so a student leader elected by the dorm to help with dorm check-in or socialization in the dorm of, hey, I'm having trouble sleeping, or, my roommate and I aren't getting along. The prefects are there as a first line of just I think sometimes a ninth grade student might, connect with an 11th grade a little sooner. Like, hey, I'm just not getting along with my roommate. Like, what do I do? Like, oh, hey, have you tried this or you tried that? Or, hey, I'll talk to the dean's office, or, help facilitate that process as well. They're great, incredible student leaders because they've lived that experience as well.
Well, so that's a great leadership opportunity for them too.
Yeah. Giving them confidence of, hey, it's going to be all right. Like, I felt the same way, 3 years ago. I was super homesick. Like, it's going to be okay. Right.
And how about the advisor system? Is there an advisor system in there? Is it done by grade, by dorm?
Yeah. So every student is given an advisor who would ideally be with them for 4 years. Each advisory has roughly 5 to 6 boys in it. So pretty tight knit.
Yeah. Nice. Would you say, Bill, there's a typical Salisbury School student?
I would say we probably attract students that are just motivated to be in this environment. I wouldn't say there's one, key driver. It could be, wow, I'm motivated to be in an environment where I'm going to be known, I'm going to be connected, I'm going to be engaged, I have multiple options. Like, it's the motivation to be here is probably the common thread of, students do a ton of research. Honestly, there's, one of the interesting stats we look at is how many students only apply to Salisbury. And I'm just amazed at, like, wow, like, we enrolled, over half our class, they only apply to us, right? And a little more usually, but and then there's students like, wow, I only applied to you and one other school. And those, schools might be really similar. So there's a self-selection to it as well that I think students, they visit, they get to know us, and they like go, I'm all in. Students are motivated. They want to be, and not meaning motivation like, wow, I'm motivated, I need to be an Olympian. It's wow, I'm just motivated I want to be part of that place. Like, I want to be part of something bigger than myself. I want to be part of a community that has some shared expectations, shared goals, shared community values of a culture of respect and building character and honor and loyalty. And I want to be part of that. Like, raise their hand, because maybe there's an absence of, they don't have that now, or they do have it and they want something just different. I couldn't tell you it's not a, hey, every student is an A+ or every student's a C+, because there's boys that when you're enrolling students who might be 13, 14 years old, you're looking at a timeline of potential and a growth aspect of that student. Whereas, so the student profile we might look at for that 13, 14-year-old, who they are and their potential to develop might be completely different than, hey, this is a 18-year-old postgraduate, who wants to play high-level Division I sports. Two totally different profiles that we're looking at, and different expectations of what we would expect, right? So the older boy, we don't have as long a timeline to imprint Salisbury and to get back from that student as well, right? That student is going to give to the school in incredible ways, whereas the ninth grade boy, there's a longer partnership that is like, there's much more of a like, wow, we think this is going to work out really well long term, and that's why you're choosing us. We've seen students like your son in the past. This has gone really well. We're super confident, and here's why. And you build it out. So different. I think depending on the grade, and could be language, could be sport, could be where they're from, could be hey, I'm coming from a 4,000 person public school. I'm a number there, and that's why I want Salisbury. Or, hey, I'm a premier, one of the top players in the world or North America in prep hockey, and I want that experience. Or I'm an incredible, musician, and I know the chair of your music department is a, incredible, renowned professional jazz trombonist, right? Like, could be any amazing, reason.
That's great. So as they're looking at the strength of the Salisbury School community, and I'm sure with lots of traditions, are there any traditions at Salisbury School that are maybe unique to other schools? Or maybe perhaps there's one tradition that you would say, wow, I hope that this tradition always remains a part of Salisbury?
I think, the historical roots of the school, going back to 1901, we were originally founded as an Episcopal school, which has since changed. We're non-denominational. But what that infused, I think, early on in the first century and, century or more is there's an ethical, moral, character building aspect of the school. And yes, we go to chapel on Tuesdays and Fridays. And wow, that's not exciting to any student that's going to hear this, like, oh, and when we survey students, like, I didn't look at Salisbury because of chapel. Of course they didn't. I think once boys are here and they realize, and if you survey, and when we do survey and poll every graduating senior, hey, what's your favorite aspect of Salisbury? Oh, chapel, by far. And why? Well, they hear from their brothers. They hear from seniors who've lived this experience, and seniors give what's called the chapel talk, and they bear their heart and soul and like it's such a character community building aspect of the school that it's just about the boy, standing up there that day and emptying his heart and sharing it in a trusted environment that does not happen anywhere else. And like that's an aspect of the school. And yes, there's other schools that, hey, they do senior speeches and chapel talks, but they're co-ed or they're not co-ed and they don't do it the same way. And in a all boys environment, what the boys share with each other and the way that the boys intimately know each other and they know the speaker makes it, that's where, that character culture building aspect of, wow, like that's amazing. I can't believe he shared that, or wow, I never knew that about him. That's amazing.
And that's a topic of their choosing, Bill.
Topic of the choosing. So yeah, our chapel tradition, so the tradition would be the senior speakers. Huge tradition. We have a couple cool ones. Our Brothers and Barbecue event at the end of the year is one of my favorite. It's it's what it implies. It's a huge barbecue food, tons of barbecue food.
More good food.
Yeah, community games, rock band, the students play. It's a ton of fun. We have, one of the cool traditions athletically, obviously as a boys' school, I think the fan section, the boys would say it's electric, right? Or best fan section in New England is, I think how they quantify it. The enthusiasm for supporting each other is, whether it's in chapel or a hockey game, or I think one of the coolest traditions is if you were to go down to a varsity football game or varsity lacrosse, which plays on the same field, on any big games or night games, if you go down to the field, and our field is set up on a mountaintop. And so, for football night game, you'll see, hey, the food truck's down there. All the fans are down there. The visiting fans are down there. The parents are all down there. There's a ton of, vibe going on. And you like look around and like, if you've never been to Salisbury before, you're like, where are all the students? Like, where are they? And there's a cool tradition. They meet on what's called the senior steps. And so they'll all meet on the senior steps, say 15 minutes before the game. So the stands are empty. And they'll walk from the senior steps down to the football field, and it's hidden. So like visiting teams or opponents have no idea this is going to happen unless they played here before, and walk from the senior steps down to by the field is this faculty residence, a row of faculty residences that kind of shields them. And you'll see like one or two boys walk out, and they're always face painted or body painted or hockey jerseys, or it's a, red out, black out, white out, whatever it might be, some theme. And they have this huge like marching band drum and a gigantic Salisbury flag. And you'll see two boys walk out, and they'll get maybe 50 yards out. And like, it turns your attention, like, what's going on? And you just hear this drum beat, and it just gets, a little louder, a little faster. And all of a sudden, like right before kickoff, right before face-off, the entire school empties in a dead sprint down to the field. And it has, I've seen it deflate other teams.
I was going to say intimidating, right? For the opposition.
It is incredibly probably like it's a shock value. Like what just happened? Like I didn't realize. And the boys are just, the students are going like super supportive of their brothers, their teammates, and, going crazy. And it's just like, yes, it's a huge, it amps up the boys on the field. It's for opponents. I've seen opponents like just like it's like going to NFL. It's home field advantage at NFL stadium, right? You're there and like
that's great.
It's like the shock value. It's super cool and yeah. Do we win every game? No, not at all. But it's the spirit is the same, win or lose. I think I think that the senior steps meeting. The senior steps have a cultural heritage here. That's where all the big things happen. You graduate on the senior steps. The meeting before the athletic games on the senior steps. Head of school holiday announcements are on the senior steps. We have school meeting outside the senior steps. So there's it's a pretty important space, sacred space for the boys.
It certainly seems like some pretty special.
It's called senior steps because only seniors are allowed to walk up. So,
okay.
It's like you would not, the students. And I don't know why the younger class, underclassmen want to walk up to it, because there's a shorter path to the dining hall to go, right? So it's a longer walk to the dining hall to go up the senior steps. So, but seniors go. And
it's the honor.
It's the honor, yeah. But it's, cool tradition. And yeah, I think the support, what do all those have in common? The student-to-student support, peer-to-peer support, regardless of if it's a jazz ensemble, production, a football game, a chapel talk. Like, the boys deeply, deeply care about each other, right? It's just uncommon. And I was in the college admissions world for nearly 20 years, and having the benefit of traveling to a lot of amazing schools. And you look at, it's just uncommon, the way that the boys treat each other, right? It's not in today's world and today's environment where there's a lot of, Instagram selfies and me mentality and, NIL money and transfer portals. It's we're a place that's maybe a little different than that, right?
Interesting. Especially as the landscape has changed, right? It sounds like Salisbury's really remained true to themselves.
Yeah, in an ever-changing, fast-paced, ever-changing world. You're equipping the boys to be ready for that space, and to lead in that space, but don't get consumed about the potential, harm of, maybe I would say the selfishness of that space sometimes, right? And I think our students are really grounded and, look at the big picture and understand decision making and the impact of their actions.
That's great. So, Bill, before we speak about admissions, is there anything else about the Salisbury School that we didn't discuss today that you would like to mention?
Well, those are all really some incredible questions. Now, I'd say one of the kind of gems of campus, which was unknown to me until I, really decided to come here to join this community, was we're on a lake as well. Like, we're on a mountaintop, but we're also on a lake, and so we're in one of the most pristine, beautiful lake spaces. It's a private lake, no public access to it. Where our world-class rowing team, but also the boys have an opportunity to swim and fish and do our polar bear plunge. And my point to that is it's an environment. If you're coming from a cityscape or anywhere else in the world, this is an environment where the pace and the rhythm slows down, and you can study on your academics. You can go to the weight room. But it's okay to go barbecue as well and go watch a rowing race. And I think the environment, the school campus environment is way bigger than just a math classroom or a hockey rink. It is the outdoor environment, the green space that we have. And, we're on a lake. It's pretty cool.
And I imagine they're also canoeing on their homemade canoe.
Yeah, they do. Well, they have to test them to make sure that they're, they float. Actually. That's a big day. It's a super big day.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Bill, if someone's interested in Salisbury School, how might they go about starting the admissions process?
The easiest way is just head to our website, and there's or you can even search Become a Knight, and there's an inquiry form on there, or through the SAO application on the SSAT, or Gateway to Prep application. Those are kind of traditional portals, 2 application portals. But yeah, just reach out, fill out an inquiry form, become a knight, and you'll begin to receive either really targeted information based on your answers or general information to schedule a visit. Come visit campus. Schedule a visit. I would say that for any school. Certainly if you're considering Salisbury and you're on this boarding school journey, visit other schools and compare it. I think that's where I would encourage you to visit other schools, because it's only going to reinforce why Salisbury might be the best fit for you, or maybe not. And so that's why I think we want we want to make sure that the students are really well informed and understand who we are as a community, and come visit when the students on campus, and you can visit another school as well, and you'll get a comparison. And we're really confident in who we are, but I think giving you a wider understanding is also important.
And Bill, what is the Salisbury School website? What's that address?
SalisburySchool.org.
Great.
Yep.
That's helpful. Well, Bill, this has been awesome. I really enjoyed our conversation today. We're with Bill Warder, the Director of Admissions of the Salisbury School in Salisbury, Connecticut, and certainly thank you very much. And we encourage people to visit salisburyschool.org. But thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you, Jeff.
Great. Awesome.
Thank you for listening to the Why Boarding School podcast. We look forward to you joining us for our next episode. Please remember to subscribe to the Why Boarding School podcast and help us spread the word. Until next time.